So it's been a while. I know at least a few of you are wondering what's happened to me over these past few months. Well, things have been out of my control, unfortunately, but I'm going to try and take the time to focus on making new videos, so there is that. I'm not stopping with fan dubbing and working on a project with a few friends, but for now, let's get to some lore. Analysis, breakdown, whatever, it's a lore video. More specifically, a lore video, one of my favorite anime series of all time, Black Clover. The show that gets way too much hate for no reason. That, despite its outward appearances as just another shonen series, at its best surpasses My Hero, Naruto, and all of the greats in my opinion. It's a fantastic show, and I'd recommend everyone watch it. I also have a lot of respect for the series' back history because the animators are really not paid that well because most of them are focusing on Boruto, but they actually have a lot of love for the show, and they show it every chance they can, and I really respect the hell out of that. With this fairly lengthy introduction out of the way, let's talk about some lore. The world of Black Clover, specifically the Clover Kingdom in this case. Now, the Clover Kingdom is one of 4 kingdoms, all based off poker suits. The Clover Kingdom, the Diamond Kingdom, the Spade Kingdom, the Heart Kingdom, and the... Is that all of them? The Clover, Diamond, Spade, Heart... Yeah, that's all of them. I'm really, really dumb. They all live in some kind of minor sync, but they don't actually have any alliances. Well, technically the Heart and the Clover have a bit of a friendship going, but it's not really a full alliance. That's more so just the leaders have respect for the other, and thus don't attack the other, and occasionally will even work together, as shown during the time skip. That part's not really important for this, since we're going to be discussing the Clover Kingdom's Magic Knight system, specifically the nation's military and the Magic Knight soldiers of the Clover Kingdom. It works differently for most kingdoms, but in this case, this is mostly a straightforward system. When you turn the age of 15, the young members of the Clover Kingdom are granted a grimoire, as long as you have magic, and honestly to win a billion chances to see someone without it. Now, these children gain the grimoire regardless of their abilities beforehand. Now, some have the potential to become magic knights really early on, as shown with Yuno, being able to use wind magic before he got a grimoire. Others not so much. For the longest time, only nobles could become magic knights, but the Wizard King once told the story of a man. An older man who, despite his lacking power, was ingenious with how he used trap magic and skilled. Because of that, he was the first commoner to ever become a magical knight, that being the father of Zora Adiales. Following this, commoners were allowed to be in the Magic Knights, and that led to the formation of the system we know today. Now, upon the rather rigorous Magic Knight exam, something that tests multiple facets of you as a mage, you will stand before the Magic Knight captains, and depending on how well you did, they will, at their own discretion, choose people to become Magic Knight to part of their own squads. And when they are chosen, they become officially a Magic Knight, specifically a 5th class junior Magic Knight. Now, there are 5 levels of being a Magical Knight: Junior, Intermediate, Senior, Grand, and finally the Magic Emperor or the Wizard King. These ranks are divided by the 5 stages that I said before, 1st through 5th class, though the exception appears to be the Grand Magic Knights, who tend to be the Magic Knight captains, and the Wizard King, who is without equal. Despite the potential closeness of the rankings, more often than not a 5th class intermediate Magic Knight will probably win against a 1st class junior, but the rank is by no means indicative of power. Only 3 members of the Black Bulls aside from Yami, those being Noelle, Charmy, and Asta, are still 5th class Magic Knights. Other members are higher class, but they only really went into detail about the first 3 I mentioned, so there is that. And the fact that some of these people are their strongest, including Henry, Luck, and Magna, says a lot. If you do well enough on a mission, you are given merit. These are basically little stars that indicate the amount of skill or potential usefulness of a squad. For example, the Black Bulls for the longest time had 30 negative stars for how horrible they were, but after Asta joined the team and inspired everyone to do a lot better, they earned 101 stars, coming 2nd place next to the Golden Dawn. Keep in mind that the Black Bulls were considered the worst guild in the entire kingdom. Though, as I said before, rank doesn't really matter for skill. Yami is leading the worst squad in the entire kingdom, and yet he's easily one of the strongest captains in the entire series, next to William Vagnus himself, who had Elf helping him, I think, partway through the show. So, that's a lot. When you become a full-fledged Magic Knight, you are given a pair of robes and possibly even a uniform, depending. The Black Bulls have you wear your basic clothes with a robe with hood on it. Other squads have you wear full, uniforms with robes, I think almost completely sewn into the outfit, and they do definitely show the differences between the classes. For example, a squad that lets you wear your clothes normal with the robes on top says a lot about them being more laid back compared to the more militaristic, stricter, far more refined Magic Knight squads like the Silver Eagles or the Golden Dawn, or even to an extent the Crimson Lions. Now I'm going to list the captains and what squads they lead. So the Golden Dawn led by William Vognitz, the Black Bulls led by Yami Sukihiro, the Silver Eagles led by Nozel Silva, the Blue Rose led by Charlotte Rolsier, the Crimson Lions led by Merlona Vermilion, and originally led by Fuegoleon Vermilion, and I'm just mentioning Fuegoleon because he is a fucking badass and usually one of the coolest captains. Fight me. The Green Mantis led by Jack the Ripper, the Coral Peacock led by Dorothy Unsworth, the Purple Orca led by Kaiser Kranvorka, and the Azure Deer led by Real Bosmeister. Something important to know that some squads have a very specific outlook on other Magic Knights and other Magic users. For example, the Nozel family, the Silva family led by Nozel Silva, the Silva family has a very imperialistic, noble outlook, viewing Noel being their youngest child, their youngest sibling, and also the one who killed her mother during childbirth, was seen as a failure and thus kicked out by her family due to that. They have a very imperialistic outlook, but even despite that, they were probably willing to let Yuno win, since Nozel raised his hand for him, Yuno being from the Forsaken Realm, but proved his strength with the Four Clover Grimoire. Every Magic Knight captain raised their hand for him, showing his potential. Also, momentarily branching off what I just said, it's really not uncommon to see some, noble families leading specific groups of some Magic Knight squads. Like I said before, the Silva family, led by Nozel, runs practically unopposed in the Silver Eagles, and it's kind of implied that he's going to let one of his siblings take over it should he fall in battle. It's also shown that the Vermilion family leads heavily in the Magic Knight squad, the Crimson Lions. Fuegoleon fell in battle, his sister led, and it's implied that he's going to let his younger brother Leopold lead after they fall. So it kind of plays a factor into it. Although it is also worth saying that the squads have the right to take out, add, or not add, depending at their own discretion. The Silva family kicked out Noelle without any opportunity for her to join the Silver Eagles because, despite her incredible power, she lacked control completely. Although after she gained control over her magic, they quickly regretted that choice because she is fucking overpowered. Also, going into this, the first person chosen for leading the Crimson Lions after Fuegoleon went into a coma from a battle with one of the members of the Midnight Sun, the Eye of the Midnight Sun, not the Golden Dawn, I don't know why I thought that. After he went into a coma by one of them, his sister, Merlona Vermilion, was immediately chosen to take his spot, kind of showing a bit of a family system to that, despite the fact that she originally wanted nothing to do with being a Magic Knight at all. Though, then he came back with a mono arm made of fire from the fucking flame spirit salamander, which was so hype it's hard to explain without just geeking out consistently. But it's still important to note that she was the first person chosen, and it's been implied a few times that Leopold, when he's strong enough, may take the reins, although it's never directly stated anywhere. So that does play a factor. Family does definitely play a factor in this, at least for certain squads. Obviously, the Golden Dawn has no noble family, and that's shown with Yuno becoming the vice captain after the time skip. And with other characters, I believe Leopold did eventually become the vice captain, though I have no backing on that. I think they were mentioning it once or twice, or they implied it. I could be wrong about that, however, so don't quote me on that. With that said, I hope you've all enjoyed my first break into a lore video. Please like, comment, subscribe, comment down below on what other lore topics you may want. I'm going to do Black Clover, Tokyo Ghoul, and a few other series I really, really like. I'm going to do more Black Clover. The next lore video I do will probably be discussing the magic system itself, not the Magic Knight system. There's a very big difference between that. Again, mostly for the Clover Kingdom. We only see the Clover Kingdom. However, it's also kind of implied that's for other... I'll leave it for that video. See you next time. Trickster signing off.